Hello and welcome. I am Roy at Ninjazilla90, and today I will be reviewing the Masters of the Universe Revelation Masterverse Beastman figure. This is a pretty cool one, and I got some things to say about him. So with that said, let's get started. And now starting things off with the box, because you know we have to talk about really cool boxes on this channel. Well, we have them because unfortunately I just don't have room to keep the boxes, but I do keep the boxes for when I review my figures. But then afterwards, yeah, I literally have to toss them because, like I said, just don't have the room for the boxes, but I keep the figures. But anyway, starting things off, we can see it is a window package box, so we can see the figure inside. Obviously, I've already taken them out, and you can see I still have some of his handy accessories left inside, which I will be getting to in a minute here. And of course, we have Masters of the Universe Revelation, which is the Netflix original series that this figure is from, and they even tell you that on the box right there. And we have Beastman, which is the name of the figure you're getting inside, obviously. We have Mattel right there, which is the company that makes these figures. We have ages 6+, so all you 5-year-olds, you're out of luck, sorry. We have a Masterverse, which is the figure line that this figure is from. We have over 30 points of articulation and a barcode that I'm more than sure nobody cares about. We have a really cool, awesome picture of Beastman right there, looking very fearsome and awesome with his whip in hand. And of course, turn to the other side, we have Beastman right there, Savage Henchman, basically, because he's one of Skeletor's henchmen. And we have another really cool picture of Beastman right there, of course, with his whip in hand yet again, doing a really cool pose. And of course, we have Beastman as Savage Human yet again. I mean, Savage Henchman, my bad, not human. He's not human, he's a beast. What am I talking about? But anyway, there is character bio, so you can pause it and read it if you choose to. So I'll leave it there for a hot little minute. And now, moving right along, we have also available, in this wave, we have Spikor, which I don't have. We have Beastman, which is the very figure you're getting in the box. We have the Revelation Skeletor, which I have and I previously reviewed. We have Tila. Yes, I do have this Tila, but I'm still yet to review her. Man-at-Arms, which I do not have, and the Revelation He-Man, which I do have. He's a pretty cool figure, but the Battle Armor one is a lot better. But anyway, we have Mattel empowering the next generation through play, and then we have recycling logos, and nothing too interesting on the bottom. So that pretty much concludes it for the box. Now, on to the figure. And now, here we have the Mattel Masters of the Universe Revelation Masterverse Beastman right here before us in all of his furry, hairy, beastie boy glory. Makes me wonder if he likes to sing Brass Monkey. But anyway, that's a whole nother question for another day. So, let's just acknowledge this super cool, awesome figure for what it is. As you can see, he is well sculpted and well painted, and also highly articulated. This figure is made by these super cool, awesome people at Mattel, of course, or well, from Mattel. Well, it says it on the box anyway. So, obviously, it didn't really need to state that more than once, but it is what it is. As you can see, he is his typical, I would say, kind of like brownish, orange colorization. like how I would describe like Beastman. It's kind of like this brownish, like orange, like dark tan, sort of. As you can see, he has this big long brown beard with some like three little ponytails in it. I guess. I don't know what you call a beard in a ponytail, but that's what it is. And you can see he has some war paint on his face, kind of very reminiscent to like some indigenous or like Native American war paint. So looks really cool. He also has some his signature bony spikes going across the top of his head there, kind of like a small mini mohawk of bony spikes there. And of course he has like this like huge like furry mane on sort of like between his back and his shoulder blade right there. So we do have that, and he does have some big thick fur patches on his forearms and on his back calves as well. So we do have that, and we can also see he does have some big furry spots at the bottom of at the top of his feet as well. He also has some armbands right there, so he has some his like wrists taped up, and also he has his ankles like taped up, like he has like wearing like these straps on his wrists and his ankles. And also another really cool detail I would like to point out, he has this like really like cool looking like tattered like ripped up like blue jean looking like sash like loincloth, whatever this is supposed to be he's wearing. And it looks like it's like supposed to be like blue jean material. I doubt if that's actually like the actual like canon material this is made out of, but if you look at it in person, it kind of almost looks like it resembles like denim, sort of like what blue jeans would be made out of. So it does have that colorization to it, I'm not gonna lie, but it does look like it could like be blue jean material, but it's not really. It's more like a flexible rubber, like on the figure. But the way it's like colored and textured, it looks like denim, like blue jean material. But anyway, he has like this leather belt. I'm assuming made out of like animal skins and stuff. And of course, we have his whip that goes into this loop right there, which a lot of people don't know how to get the whip in the loop correctly, because you would think that you would shove this piece in there, and then this doesn't really fit very well. So the correct way to do it is, you see this loop right here on his belt. You take his whip. You take this end of the whip, and you bring it up through the loop like that, and you pull it up, and then you wrap it around his waist. And then what you want to do is stick this piece back in the loop the opposite way, and then boom, there you have it. You have his whip fastened around his waist like it's supposed to go. Then just the string just hangs down like so. And yeah, I don't know if there's like any instructions or anything. I didn't see anything, but that's the way I figured it out, how to get his whip around his waist. But anyway, going over articulation with this figure. Articulation, you're pretty much getting like the same amount of articulation you're getting with just about every Masterverse figure, although this is one of the earlier release Masterverse figures, so you don't have a full 360 rotation in that top torso, so that's when I have to take points off of. I have to take points off of these figures for that, because to be honest, that should have been a ball joint the whole time. I don't know what Mattel was thinking by putting a peg joint in the middle of the top torso, which snaps if you try to force a full 360, which is just a bad idea in the long run, if you ask me. But I am glad they changed that to a ball joint on later releases. But anyway, getting back to articulation, like I was saying, starting with the head can look up about that much because of the positioning of the neck and that huge, like, rubbery mane in the back. And we can look down, we can look right, we can look left, and we can do a full-on 360 cranium revolvus and the opposite way, and we can pop his head off if we choose to, and then put it right back on. We also see he has some battle scars on his chest. Almost forgot to point that out. But anyway, we do have really good arm articulation. His shoulders are on swivel hinges, so we can swivel them all the way around a full 360 and the opposite way. Same is true with the other arm. We have hinges in the shoulders. We can bring them back down. Bicep swivel. Same is true with the other arm. We have a double joint at the elbow. Both arms. Swivel the wrist full 360. Rock the wrist forward and back on a hinge. Same is true with the other hand. Hips are on ball joints, so we can split out the hips about that much back in. Also, if you're just opening up Masterverse figures for the first time, do make sure you heat them up and work those joints with heat them up with a hairdryer and loosen up those joints, and dip them in hot water to get those joints really loose. Dip them in cold water. Icy water, not hot water, after you heat them up, just to get it to cool down. Because you do have to loosen up those joints a little bit to get them to move. Sometimes you might have stuck paint, so that's something just to keep keep a heads up on. But anyway, we do have thigh swivel, so we can swivel those thighs of his all the way around, full 360. Double joint at the knee. Bend those knees all the way back and then forward again. Full 360 swivel on the shin. Same is true with the other leg. And we do have a hinge at the ankle, so we can point those feet all the way forward and all the way back up, and we can point them back down, and we can rotate all the way around a full 360 on a peg joint. And that pretty much concludes it for articulation with this figure. As far as accessories, he does come with, obviously, his trusty whip. Now, the only downside to this whip, I would have to say, wow, it's kind of part of like the gimmick to where you can actually wrap it around his waist. It's just like a string that just hangs down. Although it's not that great for stop motion, I would rather this be a bendy wire, which I think would work better because hence the bendy wire you get with the McFarlane Toys Mortal Kombat Classic Mortal Kombat 2 Scorpion. So you do have like a bendy wire with that. I think that would be like utilized really good with something like this. But obviously Mattel, didn't think of that. But anyway, they do have the handle there. We do have the guards, like the finger guards, like the block of the weapons, I guess. When he's holding this, that's the only like practical use I could think of for this. But anyway, let's put the whip in his hand. And sometimes it takes a little force to get it in his hand, and it takes a little finagling because of the way it's made, because it has like this thick like bulge at the end of the handle. But it's not that hard to get in once you get it in. And there is a Beastman with his whip. But like I said, it just, because it's just like a string with no bendy wire, it just like droops down a lot. So if you're trying to do stop motion with this, yeah, that's just not going to work out all that well. Unless like you couldn't modify this with like a bendy wire or something. That's the only thing I can see. But other than that, yeah, it's just gonna just plop down like that. But anyway, other than his whip, we do have some interchangeable hands. We have these claw finger hands here. So we can put Beastman with some claw finger hands if we want to. And of course we have closed fist hands, which I will hardly ever use, if not never. So yeah, we have the closed fist hands. And yeah, that pretty much concludes it for accessories with this figure. But anyway, if I have to give this figure a final score based on detail, articulation, and playability, I have to give him a drum roll, please. And when it comes to detail, articulation, and playability, I have to give this one a fair but square. Not quite perfect, because I still have to take points off for that design flaw with the top torso not being a ball joint. But other than that, I definitely got to give this one a well recommended 9 out of 10, because I think he's a cool figure. He's got some cool detail, really good articulation, and he's still relatively readily available from BigBadToyStore.com. And I think he's still like super cheap. I think he's like still on sale. So if you want to go check out some Masterverse stuff on BigBadToyStore.com, he is definitely still available. But anyway, guys, that pretty much concludes it for this figure review. As always, thank you guys all so much for watching. Your viewership is much appreciated. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And to wrap it all up, stay safe, take care, God bless, stay positive, stay powered up, and peace out.